You've probably heard of the law of attraction, but what about the law of polarity, the law of divine oneness, or the law of correspondence? Did you know that there are several other laws that govern the way the universe exists, evolves, and operates? Learning about the rest of them can help us achieve a more balanced and enriched spiritual life. It has been suggested that there are over 100 laws that govern this reality. However, in this video, we will focus on 12 of these laws to help you understand how to work with them and manifest your deepest desires. The other laws will explain in order to manifest your desired reality, you must get up off the couch and take inspired action. And if you still don't receive what you want, there's a universal law that reminds you to be patient. So stay tuned as we dive into the 12 universal laws and demonstrate how you can apply them in your own life. The fundamental law of the universe, known as the law of divine oneness, emphasizes the interconnectivity of all things. It posits that every thought, action, and event is intricately linked to everything else beyond the scope of our physical senses. This law asserts that universal consciousness is a singular entity, and all things in existence are merely different aspects of the same underlying reality. In essence, it implies that the universe is an interconnected and unified system, governed by a single set of rules that dictate the behavior of all entities within it. When it comes to applying this law, you can ask yourself, how can I show more compassion and acceptance toward those I don't understand, or what would love do, because we are all connected? It's extremely important to treat everyone the same way you would want to be treated at a quantum level. All matter is in a constant state of motion, vibrating at a particular frequency. This concept extends to human beings and their personal vibrational frequency, which can determine their lived experience. The law of vibration suggests that one's vibrational frequency can influence their ability to manifest abundance in their life. For instance, if you're unable to hold on to money, despite having received it, it may be due to operating on a lower vibrational frequency. If you feel the need to elevate your frequency, there are lots of great practices to do so, including yoga, sound bathing, and chakra work. Whenever you're ready to attract something new into your life, you need to shift your vibration, become an energetic match to something new. The version of you who is already living the kind of new reality that you're calling in is vibrating at a certain frequency. And all you need to do to attract that reality is to tap into that new frequency. Vibration lies in your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, words, feelings, decisions, attitudes, that all influence your energetic field. The law of correspondence posits that recurring patterns are ubiquitous in the universe. And on an individual level, our subjective experiences are a reflection of our internal state. This principle embodies the notion of as above, so below, as within. So without, essentially, it suggests that there is an interconnectedness between all things, and that what we perceive externally is a representation of our internal reality. It is important to recognize that the external circumstances of our lives are often a reflection of our internal state. When we experience chaos and fear in our outer world, it is often an indication that we are carrying those same feelings within us. Conversely, when we feel calm and grounded in our daily lives, it is a sign that we are at peace within ourselves. In times of difficulty, it can be helpful to view the situation as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. By examining what the situation can teach us about our own inner world, we can identify areas that require healing and work towards greater inner peace and balance. If you didn't like what you see in a mirror, which part would you change, the reflection or the thing being reflected? Most people spend their entire lives pointing fingers at everyone else, waiting on them to be different, to change, to fix things, when change can only be addressed within yourself. The law of attraction is a universal principle that is widely discussed and applied for manifestation purposes. This law posits that individuals attract experiences, situations, and people that align with their energy and beliefs. Essentially, if you focus on a particular outcome, you are more likely to achieve it. However, it's not just about visualizing what you want, but also believing that it's achievable. This means that individuals must align their thoughts, emotions, and actions with their desired outcome to increase the likelihood of success. It is similar to the law of vibration. In this way, it's important to learn how to vibrate at a level that attracts what you're seeking. When we focus on our priorities, we send a message to the universe about what we desire. Repeating affirmations without belief or conviction is ineffective. It is essential to concentrate on what we want instead of what we don't want, since that is what will manifest in our lives. Know, you're a magnet and you have the ability to magnetically attract whatever it is that you want. Let go of the things that no longer serve you as they weaken your magnetism for the reality that you want. The law of inspired action, which is closely associated with the law of attraction, centers around the idea of taking concrete and practical steps to manifest our desired outcomes. The inspiration that drives this action often originates from within, and it is characterized by a subtle internal urge rather than a specific action plan. The essence of this principle lies in the practice of mindfulness. By consciously slowing down, quieting the mind, and creating space for intuitive guidance, we can tap into new and innovative solutions that may not have been immediately apparent. This approach involves relinquishing the need for rigid control over the outcome and being receptive to a range of potential outcomes. Ultimately, this allows us to broaden our perspective and consider novel approaches that may be more effective in achieving our goals. There is physical action involved, but it's not the kind of hustle grind, hard work, or exhaustion that we are taught is required for success. Inspired action is the kind of action that we feel pulled, called, or nudged towards taking from a place of alignment with our desired outcome. Inspired action is when we take action while believing that we are always being guided and that our intuition is leading us step by step towards our desires. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy suggests that everything in the universe is in a constant state of evolution or fluctuation at an energetic level. This means that every action is preceded by a thought, and thoughts themselves have the power to eventually manifest in our physical reality. For instance, if you've ever been around a negative person, you may have noticed that your own positivity was depleted. However, it's important to note that this phenomenon also works in the opposite direction. Specifically, higher frequencies can transmute lower ones. When intentionally applied with this knowledge, we can actively seek to uplift the negative energy around us by maintaining positive thoughts and actions, by focusing our intentions in the right direction. We can transmute in alchemy any energy into anything that we want. This can be achieved by living our most aligned life, being in our purpose, and showing up as our most authentic selves. Ultimately, when we do this, we automatically inspire others to do the same. The law in question establishes a causal relationship between actions and consequences. It is important to note that the effects may not be immediately apparent, but they will eventually manifest. Every action, whether positive or negative, will generate a corresponding reaction. This is due to the ripple effect of energy that is released into the universe with every action. If one emits negative energy such as anger or resentment, it will eventually return and affect the emitter in some way. Only put out what you would want to receive, make decisions that are reflective of the reality you want to create. And the world that you want to live in the universe is neutral and impartial to the seeds you sow, and what you give it will only return what you sow. The law of compensation is closely linked with the law of attraction and the law of correspondence. It is based on the notion that every effort you make will come back to you positively. This law emphasizes that in order to achieve something you must contribute towards it. To leverage this law for attracting love and support, you can identify areas where you can serve and support others. When you operate as your highest self, you will always be financially rewarded. Engaging in activities that make the world a better place will lead to financial rewards. The law of relativity proposes that humans tend to compare things in their environment. But in reality, all things are neutral. Relativism exists in all aspects of life. And the meaning of things ultimately depends on our perspective and perception. Applying this law can help us comprehend the complex parts of our lives with greater empathy. For instance, if we feel ungrateful about our living situation, it could be because we are comparing it with someone else's. Instead, it's better to appreciate what we have without the need to compare it to anything else. When unwanted events occur in our lives, they do not necessarily imply any wrongdoing on our part. The meaning we attribute to them is entirely subjective. All of us have chosen specific lessons to learn before being born, and the quicker we can neutralize the meaning of an event, the faster we will learn the lesson that we came here to learn. This will also help shift our vibration, leading to a better and more positive outlook on life. This is precisely why practicing gratitude is so crucial. It always gives us the perspective that in any situation, things can always be worse. The law of polarity is a fundamental principle that asserts the existence of opposites in all aspects of life. This principle states that every concept has a polar opposite, such as good and evil, love and fear, warmth and cold. It is important to understand that these opposites are two sides of the same coin. To work with this law, you can use the mantra, all contrast brings more clarity. This means that when you face a challenging situation such as a breakup or a health problem, you can tune into what the opposite looks like to gain a new perspective or lesson. By doing so, you will gain clarity on what you really want. It is crucial to avoid labels and judgments as they can distort the meaning of things. Remember that nothing has meaning except for the meaning that we give it. Napoleon Hill. In his book, Outwitting the Devil, writes about the benefits of adversity. He suggests that every adversity, failure and heartache carries with it the seed of equivalent or greater benefit. This means that even the most challenging situations can provide opportunities for growth and development. Cycles are a fundamental part of the universe, and they exist in various forms, such as the 4 seasons on Earth and our personal lives. We must remember that growth and integration are equally important. We often expect ourselves to remain consistent in all aspects of our lives, including productivity and health, which is impractical. It is crucial to be aware of your internal rhythms and work with them rather than against them. If you're feeling exhausted, it's better to take a break than to push yourself too hard. Internal conflicts or alignment issues manifest as patterns that we can trace back to their origin. The more we ignore these patterns, the more they become entrenched in our lives. As the saying goes, what you resist persists. When a particular issue keeps reappearing in your life, it indicates a recurring pattern that you can trace back to its root cause. The law of gender states that all things possess masculine and feminine energies. Historically, our society has been dominated by a masculine go-getter mentality, leaving little room for simply being to live authentically. One must find a balance between the divine masculine and feminine energies in the process of manifestation. A balance between action and surrender is necessary. Pure hard work alone cannot guarantee success, nor can pure surrender. The real magic happens when intention and action combine in a harmonious way. Knowing when to take action and when to surrender is crucial in avoiding burnout and attachment. The 12 universal laws are essential for anyone who wants to improve their life and work towards their goals. But instead of getting bogged down in analysis, it's more about understanding the concepts behind each law and integrating them into your day-to-day scenarios. By doing so, you'll be able to work with the laws in a more practical way. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Until next time, take care.